Spin-offs, spin-offs, spin-offs. Everything has to have a spin-off nowadays, right? Breaking Bad has Better Call Saul, Family Guy has The Cleveland Show, Lord of the Rings has The Hobbit, well, actually The Hobbit book came out first, Friends has Joey, apparently, Minecraft has Minecraft Story Mode, Minecraft Dungeons, and now Minecraft Legends. If only they could move quick enough to finally make the goddamn Minecraft movie. Mario has almost every single type of spin-off you could imagine. Star Wars has The Mandalorian, Pokemon has Pokemon Snap and a million others. Metal Gear Solid has Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. The MCU has a planned Agatha spin-off show because that's what we all want, right? Right? And of course, Sonic has Shadow the Hedgehog. But what about Ninjago? Why hasn't that gotten a spin-off? Well, we do have both the Spinjitzu Brother books and the Garmadon comic, but come on, I can't read. I need something that I could watch. We do have the movie, but who would ever watch that willingly? The closest we've gone to an Ninjago spin-off was when the Hagen brothers suggested making a female-led spin-off featuring Nia, Skylar, and Pixel, which of course did not happen as Ninjago's target audience think that women have cooties. It's a bit of a shame this spin-off never got off the ground, as I believe Ninjago has proved itself popular enough to get a spin-off show, so why shouldn't we get one? Since I don't seem to have anything else to do today, why don't we try and come up with our own Ninjago spin-offs? Before we start pulling a Sony and start giving every single character their own spin-off, we do have to keep in mind that the Ninjago show is made to advertise the sets. The same would have to go for whatever spin-offs we come up with. That's probably one of the main reasons why we haven't got an Ninjago spin-off, as I doubt LEGO would be willing to spend money on a show simply for the fans and not to sell anything. I mean, they barely air the main one, so makes you think they'll air another one. Alright, that's enough business nonsense. Let's begin the spin-offs with finally giving Skylar when she was wrongfully denied. Oh wait, they already did that. Throughout 2022, the LEGO Life website uploaded 9 chapters of a Skylar-based story called Amber Spiral. I read all 9 of the chapters and it was pretty interesting, with a surprise appearance of Camille and even revealing how the Amber element was created. I'm fairly certain that this story isn't canon, but it was at least nice to get. I'm hoping that this becomes a regular thing for Ninjago on the LEGO Life website. Perhaps this could become a yearly thing with different characters. I mean, a lot of people want to know about Madalonia, so this seems like a good way to do that. Pushing Skylar away, the other character wrongfully denied their spin-off would be Pixel, who I think would actually be able to have a spin-off project, whether that be a LEGO Life story or animated episodes on YouTube or Netflix. A Samurai X show actually sounds pretty plausible to me. They certainly wouldn't have any problems making sets, as Pixel is literally known for making all the ninjas' vehicles nowadays. It could also just be a really good series, sort of similar to The Mandalorian, with Pixel tracking down escaped convicts such as Misdemeanor and some new characters that have been included in the sets. And of course, the ninja would make the occasional appearances to actually sell the sets. Were you a big fan of Season 13? Well, you'll like the next spin-off, which would revolve around the Upland. These guys are great in Season 13 and could definitely hold their own in a spin-off project. I see the series working with the Upland travelling all over Ninjago, taking on different quests from numerous different characters, new and old. Again, another opportunity to explore Madalonia, as one of the main characters is literally from there. So they wouldn't even need to make a full wave of sets, as Plundar, Korgran and Fungus were perfect in a 3 minifigure accessory pack, like they did with the Oni, along with a brick-built Adam of course. I'm honestly surprised they didn't do this when the season came out. These 3 have such good designs, which would have been great to have. And come on, who would want this guy to be sitting in the corner of their room, under the shelf, staring down at you as you desperately try to fall asleep? The most requested spin-off or a continuation for the show would absolutely be a next generation type of series, with all the ninjas kids taking over as the next group of elemental protectors, because we all know that these plastic ninja love to fool around. This will probably be the most realistic spin-off in this video, which just makes perfect sense. The Ninjago brand gets to keep going, but with a new cast of characters, along with the ninjas still being there as mentors of the new team. And Wu too, I guess, because that old man just refuses to die. It would be incredibly easy to sell sets from this next generation series, as they'd really just be swapping out the regular ninjas' heads with younger characters that would probably even appeal to kids even more than the regular ninja, who would still appear in the sets along with the new characters. In terms of plot for the show, I don't know, just bring back the Overlord again, that seems to do the job. Another highly requested spin-off I've heard being thrown around would be a Young Wu and Garmadon series, which is exactly what the Spinjitzu brothers is, so just pick up a goddamn book for once. A Young Wu and Garmadon short series on YouTube wouldn't be a bad idea. They could cover parts of Wu and Garmadon's life that the books haven't done, such as more content on this first Serpentine War. So they wouldn't really have to make any sets either, as the show could just help promote the books and even the Garmadon comic. I mean, I certainly wouldn't mind getting a minifigure accessory pack with a Young Wu and Garmadon, along with some of the villains from the books, because those would be some really nice figures. Season 4 introduced a plethora of new characters, with all the Elemental Masters, and I think that an anthology series would be a great way to expand on some of the less focused on characters. Each episode would showcase a different Elemental Master, like Griffin Turner or even Karloff, which again would be an opportunity to finally showcase Madalonia. It would also be an opportunity to showcase new Elemental Masters, or even bring back rejected characters. Maybe then we'll finally get to see Magno the Master of Magnetism. The only type of product I see this series being able to do is either yet another minifigure accessory pack or a CMF series, but God knows LEGO would never give Ninjago a CMF series despite it being one of their most popular themes for over 10 years. I know this one does not count, half the characters didn't even show up in the movie. Remember Shadow of Ronin? This handheld game is our first introduction to Ronin and seemed to explain how the ninja knew him before the events of possession. Too bad the entire game is turned not to be canon, so what was even the point? This is why I propose a Ronin-led spin-off. It would take inspiration from the Book of Boba Fett, as the series shows his beginnings in the bounty hunter world as he rises up through the ranks and finally becomes a feared thief with his own shop and sticks. Perhaps even facing off against other up-and-coming bounty hunters. According to Tommy Andresen, Ronin apparently has 3 children and a nagging wife, who would all of course appear in this supposed spin-off series. No wonder he turned to crime, it was the only way to get away from them. Along with Ronin's supposed family appearing, it would be a huge missed opportunity if the last episode didn't finally show how the ninja first met Ronin. I feel like making sense of the show wouldn't be too hard, as Ronin probably would have had a few different vehicles before selling on his Rex. Not to mention it would be a perfect way to give us a Legacy City of 6, along the Legacy Rex we should have gotten by now. Seriously, what were they thinking when they gave us this one possession Legacy set and called it quits? Man, I just want Legacy Skybound so we could have gotten a new iPad J face. I suppose it just wasn't meant to be. The second to last spin-off idea I have is of course going to be for God himself, Darius. In Crystallized, Darius acts as the ninja's lawyer, which is a pretty big reference to Better Call Saul, which is a perfect idea for a Darius spin-off. Each episode would feature Darius trying to get numerous different characters of all kinds of legal issues. Probably not the kind of legal issues Saul faced, but legal issues nonetheless. Unfortunately, I don't think this series would be able to produce any sets. I mean, hey, I would buy a Better Call Darius electric chair set. For my final spin-off idea, I decided to mash 2 of the previously mentioned spin-offs into one magnificent series, Ronin x Darius. Wait, no, that's not what I meant. This series would be like a buddy cop comedy, with Ronin and Darius being paired up to solve any crimes the police commissioner throws their way. I'm not sure what sets this series could produce, but one idea I have is a Laffy's Karaoke Club. For all these different spin-offs, I believe it would be best if they didn't share the same art style of the show, just to help make them stand out against the main series. I would suggest the 2D style from season 11, but we all know how people reacted to that. If you ask me, the Monkey Kid style would be perfect. It'd be pretty cool to see characters like Ronin and the Upland in the Monkey Kid style. They don't just have to use the Monkey Kid style, as any of the new art styles they created for the Legacy reimagined sorts would do perfectly as well. And with that, we've covered all the spin-off ideas I could think of. Of course, there's definitely a lot more characters that could receive their own series, but I think that the ones I talked about in this video are some of the more realistic ones. But the most realistic spin-off is the one I haven't even talked about yet. Fugidove spin-off, baby!